Hey everyone, how are you? It's Marla. I thought it would be fun to film one last video for 2015 and then go back into hibernation in 2016 until maybe the end of the year. I did my favorite or most loved skincare products video a while ago, a couple weeks ago, and I will link that below. And now this is a continuation sort of my loves, and these now are all my loves that I've used this year for makeup products. So I thought it would be kind of fun to let you see how the makeup I use works on my face. I don't have anything on my face right now other than moisturizer, and you can see maybe why I love them so much. So my face is moisturized, and I may be taking some stops in between here. I thought it would be kind of fun as I'm doing this video to go over, I was reading an article that was interviewing a group of makeup artists, and they asked them what trends of 2015 do they wish they would just fade away for 2016, and every trend that they mentioned in there, I agreed with. So as I'm going through this video, I'm going to periodically look at my computer and go over those trends and see if you agree with me or not. I think the trends of 2015, some of them were not very good for mature women, but I will kind of get to that as I'm doing the video. So let's get started. I'm filming with my iPhone, so you're gonna have to bear with me. I don't have a ring light or anything fancy here, just my iPhone and a desk lamp. So we're gonna kind of roll with this. But these are my favorite products, most used products for 2015, and I'm gonna be kind of periodically looking at you and also periodically looking at myself to apply my makeup. I do have a mirror here, but sometimes I also like to use the iPhone as my mirror, so please excuse me for that. The first product, I've already moisturized my face. My favorite primer, or my most loved primer of 2015, is by DHC. I'm gonna list all the products below. If you watched my skincare video, you would have seen that one of my favorite cleansers, or one of my favorite oil cleansers, is by DHC, DHC Deep Cleansing Oil. But DHC also makes a Velvet Skin Coat, and it's a primer, and I really love this. It really smooths out my kind of wrinkly areas. I don't use a lot of it. I don't use it all over my face because it's a really tiny tube. I just sort of use it in areas I know I want to kind of smooth out, like around my mouth here. And I can actually put it right on my eye area and under here, and it doesn't bother my eyes at all. All right, as I said in the intro, I am going to read through periodically as I'm doing this, the beauty trends that makeup artists really want to disappear in 2016. And I read this article and I said to myself, I agree with everything they've said. All right, first beauty trend that they wish would disappear in 2016. Enough already with the contouring. People need to stop wearing such heavy makeup for the day. Makeup should highlight and enhance the features you already have, but not completely cover them up. And I do agree with that, especially with older women. Unless you're going to a photo shoot or making a video or going on stage, I just don't like the look of heavy contouring on somebody's face in the daytime. For me, especially someone older, that dark, kind of darkish area here, I don't know, it just doesn't look natural to me. So the makeup artists agree with me on that. And I think I read an article by Bobbi Brown who also said women need to lay off the contouring also. So totally agree with that. The thing I'm gonna do is do my eye makeup. I had a couple palettes that I liked this year. I really kind of enjoyed the L'Oreal Les Palette number 1 Nude and Les Palette number 2 Nude. However, personally, for me, I didn't like the way these blended as much as my more expensive eyeshadows. These, I think, got fairly decent reviews, but I used them a lot, so they were very well loved. I wanted to mention them, but they weren't as buttery as I would have kind of liked. So these came in as some of my favorite palettes. Another favorite palette for me, and probably my most loved palette was by Too Faced, and it was the Natural Matte palette. And I just love all the shades in this. This is just a great palette, especially for a mature woman. And on top of that, I really love all my ColourPop shadows. I have a bunch of these. I use these shadows a little differently. I don't use them on their own. A lot of times I will put my regular eye makeup on and then just use a fluffy brush to kind of sprinkle a little bit of these on top of my eyeshadow to give it a little bit of sparkle. That way it doesn't look like it's super heavy. But right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my eyes, and I'm actually gonna do my eyes kind of off camera because I just hate kind of taking time for everybody to watch me putting my eye makeup on. So I'm going to use these, and I'm probably gonna use Honey Butter, Chocolate Cookie, and Sexpresso. I love that name. So I'll do my eyes and I'll be right back. And after I put all that eye makeup on, I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of ColourPop's Tea Party on, and you'll get to take a look at how that looks. I'll be right back. I put my eyeshadow on. I used the Natural Matte palette, and then I don't know if you can see some of that little bit of kind of wet look sparkle. That's on top of it is from Tea Party. And the other palette that I really loved this year was the Lorac Pro 2 palette. However, I left mine at the hotel we went skiing about a week ago, and I left my palette there. So I'm waiting for another, I ordered another one and waiting for it to come in the mail. So I was crying over that, but that would be another loved palette for eyeshadow. So this is it for me for my eyeshadow. Nothing crazy. I don't wear a lot of, crazy eye makeup with tons of liner, and I never line the inner rim any more of my eyes with black liner. I just feel like it's just too harsh for someone almost 56. That is just my preference, but it's kind of, it's a pet peeve of mine, but I won't go there on that. But I'm not gonna line the inner rim of my eyes. So have my eye makeup on. I'm gonna read the beauty trend number 2 that makeup artists say should go away in 2016, and that is go easy on the foundation. I wish people would stop copying the heavy foundation tutorials. People feel like they need to drown their face in foundation and contouring products in order to achieve a flawless finish. They say, in reality, these techniques look better on camera than they do in real life. And I agree with that also. When I see some tutorials where they have like piles and piles of concealer all over their face and contouring all over their face, I guess it looks okay in real life, but I don't know. I couldn't do that myself. But anyway, that was number 2 trend that they wish would go away. Okay, I have my eyes done. I'm going to curl my lashes. And one of my favorite liners for this year, I don't do a wing liner, so my the attributes I look at in a liner may be different for other people that do wings. I have a lot of areas of my lashes. For some reason, I have a little bit of areas in my eyelashes where I don't have lashes. They just kind of went a little bald. So all I want to do is basically just fill in kind of that line, the upper line or tight line, just the upper area where the lashes are missing. And really, my favorite liner this year has been the Maybelline Master Precise. Really, really like this. I like it because it has a nice felt tip pen, and it just doesn't seem to dry out. I just think it's really inexpensive and a great product. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of go over the area here with this, and I'll be right back. And I am now going to use my mascara. I wouldn't say I had a favorite mascara this year. I've used a lot of different mascaras. I used a lot of different samples. And it's just, I can't really say that I've reached for anyone that I would want to say it was my absolute favorite of 2015. Probably the one I've used the most is the Maybelline Lash Sensational, but I really don't have an absolute favorite mascara. So I'm going to put this on my eyes, and on my bottom lashes, I like to use the L'Oreal Carbon Black because it has such a fine little wand. It's just easier for me to get the bottom lashes covered with mascara. So I'm gonna use this on my bottom lashes and this on my top lashes, and I will return. I did my mascara and now I'm gonna move to the rest of my face. The one thing I do want to say about this palette is I wish some of these were a little bit bigger in size. Hopefully I don't use this up too quickly, but that was kind of the only thing that I wish was a little bit bigger. Okay, for my face, the first thing I normally do when I'm doing my putting on my face is I like to do my under eye concealer first, and I always mix two. And my favorites, I can absolutely say that these have been my most used concealers this year, were the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer mixed with the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin. So what I do is I just get the tiniest little dot of the IT Cosmetics, and because that one doesn't have a wand, I use the Better Skin wand and try to get as much of it off as possible, and then just mix the two and then apply them to my face. So I'm going to put it here, kind of here, here, and just there. Like that. Oh, and let me read the next beauty trend that makeup artists wish would go away in 2016. The perfect Instagram brow isn't perfect at all. I am over the Instagram and reality TV driven trend of perfectly waxed brows. Brows are meant to be unique to each face. They add character and structure, and those brow shapes that look like precisely pruned lines do neither. So another trend that they wish would go away. Okay, so I have this on, and now I'm just going to kind of pat it out with my beauty blender. Not my beauty blender, my Real Techniques. I'm so used to saying beauty blender. And the first thing I normally do is just use this first to kind of tap this out. And then I've had a lot of favorite brushes this year, but I could say most of them were just drugstore brushes, like my little Sonia Keshik. This is a little Sonia Keshik brush that I love, kind of a little flat top, but it's really good for kind of getting concealer in this corner area of your eye, and just, it's almost like a finger patting down the concealer. So I really love this. All right, so that's everything. And the combination of those two concealers mixed together blend really nicely. All right, for foundation, I've used two foundations together this year, and these really have been my favorite. For kind of the center area of my face, I use the Clinique Even Better foundation, and what I do is I put kind of that in the center area of my face and a little bit on my neck. And let me blend that in first a little bit. And I'm going to use my camera, my iPhone, sort of as my makeup mirror. So I'm going to blend that all over kind of the center area of my face. And then up here. And then to kind of mix with that, because this really is not an exact match. I have a real hard time with Clinique getting an exact match of a foundation. I use my Makeup Forever Ultra HD, and I kind of put that just a little bit on the outside area here, because this is more a perfect match for my skin. I just kind of mix. I don't mix the two together for some reason. I like putting them on separately. I don't know why, I just do. Now, to kind of warm up this face of mine, what I do is I first like to put on just a touch of blush, and then I'm going to put just a touch of another blush, but the other blush is slightly a little bit more of a, not really, I don't want to say bronzer because it's not, but I'll show you the color of it, and it just kind of adds a little bit more warmth to my skin. Favorite blush, hands down for the year, has been my Tarte Exposed. I love this blush. I've used it for years. It's just a favorite blush of mine. So this would be my favorite blush, and I'm going to put that on with a Real Techniques brush, which I really love these brushes. And I'm just gonna, no contouring on this face, just a little bit of this blush. And this blush is so kind of neutral, nude, that you can barely kind of see it on your face. It just adds a little bit of color. On top of that, I'm going to put on my Lancome Blush Subtle, and I use the shade Shimmer Mocha Havana. And this is kind of a, I don't want to say it's a bronzer shade because it really isn't, but it's a very super neutral looking shade. And I just pile that really on because it's very, you can't really see it. You can literally put this all over your face and it doesn't look like you're putting blush all over your face. But I like it because it has just a little bit of a mocha shimmer without being too shimmery and without being too mocha. I guess that's the best way to put it. So I don't put a lot more color on my face because I'm wearing a slightly darker lip for me, and I don't like the look of eye makeup, big cheeks, and big lips, even though I don't have big lips, but bright lips. Okay, before I put on my highlight, I'm gonna go to beauty trend, the next beauty trend. Give it a rest on the ombre lip. Let's get rid of illusions in general and embrace makeup that enhances what we have. So makeup artists are fed up with ombre lips. That was the next beauty trend that they wish would kind of go away in 2016. Okay, for my highlighter, I've had two favorites for this year. The Becca, of course, one of everybody's favorites. Becca highlighter, and my favorite shade is, I think this is Opal. But because I'm in Colorado right now and my skin is uber dry, I really love the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, and I use this in Opal. And what I do is I just put, I actually have a little sample one too, a supersized sample. I put a little bit of that on my hand, and I use a very tiny brush, which is this little baby right here. And this is a Sephora brush. I really like these Sephora brushes. I have the small version and the big version, and I really love these. But what I do is I just take it and just dab it in that, and then I just kind of dab it in the area I want it to go on my cheeks, and then I just lightly tap it in. So you can see it just gives my cheeks a really beautiful glow without kind of looking like a dry highlighter. Because I have such dry skin out here right now with this climate, the last thing I want is a powdery kind of highlight on my cheeks. I just want my cheeks to look, as you can see, super kind of glowy, but you don't really see that there's powder on my cheeks. And then kind of as a powder, just to kind of set this area and mattify it out a little bit, I really love this IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Airbrush Perfecting Powder. I got this with the CC Cream. I don't like the CC Cream, but I do like this powder, and I'm just going to pat this in kind of to the area around my nose. Anywhere, just more the center area of my face. I don't do powdering all over my face, just mainly areas that look a little bit of shine. A little bit shiny. All right, for my eyebrows, I've been using the same products for a long time. I use a combination of two Anastasia of Beverly Hills products. I use the pomade first, and as you can see, I don't have eyebrows. So I use the pomade to pretty much paint on my eyebrows, and I like to use my MAC 208 brush. And what I do is I wet it a little bit first and dip it in the pomade, and just makes it a little bit thinner so I don't have kind of a real thick brow with this. And then after I put this on, I go over some of the edges a little bit with the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I'm going to do that right now, and I will be right back. I did my brows. It's always like painting a picture when I do my brows because I have very little brow left. Let's go on to the next beauty trend that makeup artists wish would go away in 2016. Matte brown lipstick. It's incredibly aging and does nothing to complement your skin features. So that was the next trend they wish would go away. All right, one of my favorite, or some of my favorite lip products this year have been by Dior, ColourPop, and probably Buxom. I would have to say, when it comes to just kind of a lippy, oh, and one other one that was kind of came out of the blue for me. I really love some of these Dior, and they're called the Addict lipsticks. I just think these are so pretty, and I love kind of the packaging of these. So this had been one of my favorite, most used products this year. ColourPop Lippie Sticks, I can't even grab all the ones I have. These have been favorites for my year, for this year. If I was going to choose lip glosses most used this year, they'd be by Buxom, most favorite lip glosses for the year, for me anyway. And I really like, for kind of a lip balm that's a little tinted, I really like these Circa beauty products that you find in Walgreens. And this is called the this is Color Treatment Tinted Lip Butters. And these are really nice. They look like this, and mine's in mauve, if you can see, get away from that desk lamp. Really pretty shade, and they just really very moisturizing for your lips. So this was kind of a surprise purchase. I really love to have this in my makeup bag. But I had to take my dog out potty, so the lights are now coming in my window, so the lighting may be slightly different, but I'm gonna finish this video up. My favorite, other favorite products for lips for this year were my Dior lip liner. This is the Crayon Contour Lip Liner Pencil by Dior. And this shade is Berry Mauve 573. And also I really love these NYX, and I try to see what these are called. Lip Smacking Fun Color Lipsticks. I don't know what the real name of this is, but I will put it below. And if you're looking for kind of a universal nude mauve, I read this somewhere where the NYX Thalia number 529 is pretty much what makeup artists consider a universal mauve that can be worn by people with any kind of skin tone. That's why I picked it up. I thought that was kind of interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line my lips with the Dior lip liner and put a little bit of the NYX 529 Thalia on my lips. And that is kind of my final look. If I want to give this just a little bit of glossiness, I like to add on top of it the Circa Beauty lip balm that I picked up, and this is also in mauve. It just gives it a little hint of shine. And let me finish off these trends that makeup artists wish would kind of go away for 2016. I think the last one I talked about was the ombre lip matte brown lipstick. Incredibly aging and does nothing to complement your skin features. Baking your makeup. I know that's really popular right now. Baking your makeup has been around for a long time. Performers, drag queens, dancers, and even some actors have been doing this technique that involves letting heavy layers of powder sit or bake on the skin while they apply the rest of their makeup. It gives a really strong and striking effect that looks great under heavy stage lighting, and of course with a good Instagram filter. The problem with baking is that unless you have baby soft, flawlessly smooth skin, it will accentuate any fine lines or dry skin and will look completely fake in person. So I don't bake for me. And the last one is clown contouring. Crazy contouring, a facial mapping where you basically draw all over your face using heavily applied makeup in the wrong colors and then pretend a beauty blender can save the day. Let's just make it stop. In the age of positive body declarations, let's bring back the love for natural and subtle enhancement of our facial features. I thought those were interesting and kind of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing my favorites for the year. These are products that I've used all this year, and I probably plan on using all next year. I don't intend on, I really kind of enjoy my foundation, I enjoy my blush, I enjoy my lippies. I like my concealer. I'm kind of set for now. So I'm going to go back in my hole in hibernation and just enjoy watching all my favorite YouTubers and just take it easy for 2016. Hopefully everybody has a very safe, happy new year and a wonderful 2016. Bye-bye from Marla.